Yo, what is up, guys? We're back with another video, and we're talking about a new show, not a K-drama, but it's in the Korean category. I love these Korean shows. I like shows in general, but I'm just into this. I'm all locked in. All right, yo. So today we're talking about Devil's Plan. Devil Plan is a competitive reality show. Okay, so like I said, it's not a K-drama, but it's a Korean show. So that's all I can tell you. And after this, we're actually gonna like move away. For one thing, we're gonna go over this Taiwanese movie that came out, and that movie is fire. So like, I feel like I gotta go ahead and drop it too. Even though, like I said, I might be getting away from what my name is like Kai drama. Like it's not all dramas, it's not all Korean. We're gonna be branching out, talk about a whole bunch of things. So next week, it's gonna be a different. It's gonna be a movie, and it's not gonna be a Korean thing. And just like this show, it's not a drama, right? It's gonna be a lot of dramas here. Don't get it twisted. But I gotta have like little categories. I want to be able to have a playlist of different things. So this one's gonna be a competitive. I'm gonna have a playlist of variety. I gotta get the variety show. I like variety shows too. Those are very funny. They're very entertaining. I get variety. We gotta get thrillers. We gotta get just the classic love joints up in there. We gotta get it all, and we gotta we getting it all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So, with all that being said, let's get into Devil's Plan, right? So, like I said, it's a competitive reality show. And forgive me for the way I say these things. I gotta preface every video just in case somebody's new here and they're like, man, this dude is butchering these names. No, I'm not. He's being disrespectful. I'm not. I don't know how to pronounce these names. I have not been trained in this language, so I'm not good with it. But we about to go over the cast, all right? I'm gonna read these names off. So bear with me because it's about to be rough. So, starting off, some of these names might be repetitive because I used the names that were at the front of Netflix and I used the ones that were on Wiki. So, some of these names might be different names, some of these might be the same. We just going with it. So we got Kang Ji Young, we got Kyo Yoon. These names are bro. Kim Harin, Orbit. I'm glad Orbit. Simple they would say Orbit. We got Kwak Jun Bin. We got Guillaume Party. Guillaume Party. I think that's how you say that. I remember that. Kim Dong Jae. We got Park Kyung Rim. We got Seo Dong Ju. We got Seo Yu Min. We got Boo Sung Kwang. We got Lee Si Won. We got Lee Hee Seung. We got Cheo Yeon Woo. And we got Ha Sok Jin. Woo! That's as good as it getting, y'all. That's as good as it getting, right? So we got all of them, and they're all competing, right? They're in this dystopian world because they set up like a world. It's just like kind of a dystopian world. Everybody wears masks, but in this game, everybody's taking off their masks to go ahead and get some money and be last player standing and win some money and just compete in these games. It's kind of weird that that's how they preface it, right? That's the description of this show. We actually get in the show. They kind of just drop that all together. So the name of the show and like the little description you get of the world they're living in isn't really there because these are like celebrities, normal people, and the way they talk to each other, they kind of completely discount that entire like intro of the world. Because the thing is, they all wear masks, and it's like this is us to take off our masks, but yet it's like, oh, I know you. You're this, you're this pop star, or you're this YouTuber, or you're this actress. So it's like it was interesting to get that dialogue when they don't really follow it. Like it's like ignore the setting you get at the intro of this because it doesn't really play a part outside of the caster who's giving the games. That's about as close you're getting to that little dystopian world that we're talking about. Okay, so it's just some people coming here to win money. Like I said, it's a competitive reality show. They're coming here to win some money. Simple as that. All right, just think of it like that. I know I said all that. I'm just giving you what the show told me. It's a game show. So, game show, 12 episodes, about 45 minutes to an hour long for each episode. And most episodes consist of two matches, right? I love two matches. It's just the best way to do it. A lot of the game shows do it like that, but they have a like elimination round and then they have a money grabbing round. It's the same thing here. They have elimination and money grabbing. So we're gonna talk about our prize matches, which are where you gain money, and then we have the main matches, is where you people get eliminated. So I'm gonna go over the prize matches. I'm not gonna go into detail about what each of these are. I'm just gonna say them, give you a little, and just I'm just gonna tell you what they are, and then you can figure it out for yourself. I'll explain some of them. I can remember them, but prize matches. These are what they use to get money because they have these things called pieces, right? Some of these you can gain pieces, which are essentially your lifelines. So pieces are your lifelines in this show, and once you hit 0 pieces, you're out of the game. So sometimes in these prize matches you can gain pieces, and in some of these prize matches you can lose pieces. But very rarely can you lose pieces. It's mostly to gain money, because there's also a pot that they're trying to earn up and stack a whole bunch of money in for the person that wins the game. So the prize matches are important, but it's obviously only important for the one person who wins the game. So they accumulate that money from the prize matches so that the winner can get it in the end. So I'm going to go over the prize matches now. So we got co-op puzzle. We got fragments of memory. So, and I remember what no, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't remember what fragments of memory is. So yeah, I can't even tell you what these are. We got word tower, which I believe was them stacking a whole bunch of words with English letters, and they had to use all the blocks that were there, and they had to make words out of all of them, but they were in English. So you can see how that could be difficult when that's not your native language. So that was an interesting one to see. And they had a scale game, which it's like essentially they had to make like a figure out the weights of different pieces and scales, but they were in 3 different rooms, and you could only place a certain amount on the scale before you couldn't place anymore. So like they all had to work together without communicating. They split up in teams, and they could only see what a person did, but they could not talk to what another team did. And they had to somehow figure out what they had to balance the scale somehow without any communication between all of them. So it's a very interesting thing. You have a game called Montage, and then we have a 4-player 3 in a row. So a lot of interesting games there. But that's to gain money, all right? But then we have the main match. In the main match, this is where people get eliminated. So it's like if you place last, you would lose pieces. If you were like in the middle, you would gain nothing, and then you were at the top, you gain something. They also have this thing called jail, right? The person who, as the worst performer, goes to jail, and you don't participate in the prize match, which means you don't have a possibility of gaining anything extra, okay? And this is your penalty for doing so bad. So getting last in the main match, you can't gain any more pieces, right? So it's a lot of things for getting last place. You don't gain any pieces for getting last place, and you probably lost some, right? 2, you don't get the possibility of gaining more in the prize match, and you're just stuck in jail. So it's like getting last place does hurt you in the main match, right? And like I said, obviously, when you run out of pieces, you get out of the game, right? So we're on to the main match again. I'm going to go ahead and explain these now. And also, 2 people go to jail. The top ranked 2 people in the game can send another person to jail. So 2 people go to jail. The person in last place and the person that gets voted to go to jail as well. So those 2 people go to jail every round, okay? So let's go to the main match. And these are all the matches that are up for somebody getting eliminated, okay? If they run out of pieces anyway. So you got the rules race, which was very interesting, right? Because it was a game. It's like a little board, right? Think of a Monopoly board. You can go to jail and all this stuff. And a group of different people all would make rules. So people got in groups. I believe it was 2 groups, right? And you would make up rules. And there were also conditions to these rules to activate. So if somebody does this, your rule will activate, and you will get like a get out of jail free card or something like that. But then also, if you landed on a specific spot, you could activate a specific rule in the game that you created or that somebody else created. It's very interesting how they did it. Like, for example, let's say I landed on the special space. I would change the rule to if anybody lands on, or no, something like this. If I get a get out of jail free card, I can transfer it over to somebody else. That's a rule that you can set in the game, which inherently wasn't in the game, but you could set that up. But then you also have personal rules, like if somebody is on my square right now and they roll a 2, I get a jail free card. So your personal rules are always active and they'll always be ready for you. But then you also have the group rules, which, like I said, if you land on a specific spot, you can activate any one of the group rules. And a lot of them were like, it was like 10 of them, but it really only ever cycled between 3 of them because like they were just the most beneficial for the team as a whole. And then the personal rules just activated whenever you got the key scenario to activate. Like, for example, like I said, somebody's on my square and my personal rule is if somebody rolls a 2, I get a get out of jail free card and things like that. So you have personal rules for everybody at the table, and then you have a couple of group rules for the 2 separate teams as a whole. So it was a very interesting game just to see how it went and to see how you had to manipulate like your personal rules along with the group rules to make sure the rest of your team got out. It was just very interesting. So I love the rules race. That was very cool. Then there was Secret Number, Zoo, Laying Your Grass, and Equation High and Low. All of the bangers. I'm going to go over High and Low. Equation High and Low was very interesting as well. This was like the last game, by the way. So the one that I named the first is the first game, and the last one is the last game, Equation High and Low. And that one was very interesting because essentially you got an equation, right? And it was kind of like poker, like a somewhat for poker. I'm not familiar with poker, so I can't really explain it too well. But you got different cards, right? One of them is face up, and then you get a plus, addition, a multiplication, or a division. And then while the face card is still being dealt, right? So the first card you get is face down. The rest of them are face up. So everybody sees these cards. And if you get like a division, you will have to take off a subtraction or something like that. You had to lose one of your cards, just depending on the cards you got. And your goal was to either be the closest to 0 if you bet low, or be the closest to 20 if you bet high. Okay? And then there were tiers to it. So the cards came in 4 tiers. It came in dirt, bronze, silver, and gold. So if you bet low, right? Let's say 3 people all bet low in their equation that they made with the numbers that they had, all equaled 0. It would first go to the lowest number. Who has the lowest number there, right? Let's say they all have 2. Who has the lowest tier 2 in that setup? The person who has dirt would win that round because they have the lowest, right? And then it's the exact opposite for somebody that bet high. So let's say the other 2 remaining people bet high and they both hit 20 exactly. And they both have 10s. And it's like, okay, who wins? The person who has gold. Let's say one person has gold and the other person has silver. The person with the gold 10 would win over the person with the silver 10. So when you bet high, you want to be the closest to 20 and have the highest rarity as well. And if you bet low, you want to be the closest to 0. Oh, sorry, closest to 1. Same thing applies. You want to be closest to 1 with the lowest rarity on your cards if you get in a tie. So it was a very interesting game. Both those games were bangers. I loved them. A lot of these games just seem realistic, if I have to say so, right? A lot of these game shows are great. Like, don't get twisted. A lot of them are great, but they're so extravagant, and it's like, I know I will not get the opportunity to try that stuff in real life, but these games are very much playable in real life. Like, there could be a company that could make stuff like this to where they have like rotating games for people to try at different months. Like, this is a very realistic thing that could happen. And so like, that's why I'm so interested in it. I'm so invested in it. I just think it's so cool. So, yeah. Those are all the games that they have. I'm getting ready to close it off. It's only 12 episodes, so enjoy, like I said. Season 2 comes out on May 6th, y'all. So if you're thinking about hopping in, you want to watch this, you want to start watching some episodes now. And then May 6th will be right around the corner this next month. And you can start the next season. So I'm very interested to see what kind of games they have over there. So I say y'all tap in, all right? If you like a competitive show and you're trying to get into the Korean drama, you can start with this. Because it's going to hit like home, right? It's still a competitive show. You know, lots of games. And if you like that, this is the show for you. So that's all I got to say. Nothing more, nothing less. Like I said, we got a different kind of show. We got a whole movie, a whole different category. Next week, it's a more lighthearted fun. It's a comedy. It's a little gory, but it's comedy. It's Taiwanese. It's going to be a banger. All right, y'all. So thank you for watching if you watch. Like the video if you liked it. Comment something down below. Go ahead and get interactive. Talk to me, y'all. Comment something down below. Subscribe if you're new here, because everybody's new here. I just started this channel. I didn't just start the channel. But, like, there's not many videos here. I don't got many subscribers. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.